Wales Air Ambulance, particularly this week as it's Volunteers Week. And with me today is Anne, one of our volunteers, who gives up her time to help out with raising funds and raising awareness. So, Anne, how did you come to be involved with Wales Air Ambulance?
I was in the nursing profession and I moved from Twickenham last year and decided that I wanted to help the air ambulance because I was involved back home in Scotland. And I joined you, about 6 months ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And loved every minute of it. Super team.
And we do get to go and meet some lovely people and go to some interesting places. Tesco's on Saturday.
Which we
both
did
of us. Yes, both of us in a different Tesco's. But we get to go and meet really nice people and do some very interesting things too, events, etc. All in the name of sharing the work that is done by the Wales Air Ambulance. So I've got some slides to show you today. If you've got any questions, please just ask along the way. So, first of all, Wales Air Ambulance is a registered charity operating an emergency helicopter ambulance service within Wales. Now, not everybody knows that we're a charity. A lot of people assume that we're funded by the NHS. The ambulance itself and the airbase and all of the costs of running it are borne by the charity, and the paramedics and the doctors are supplied by the NHS. Our objective, the same as any paramedic or medical service, is to sustain life. So by preventing the patient's condition deteriorating, promoting recovery, and the third one here is where we differ from the ambulance service as a whole. We provide the most effective journey to the most appropriate hospital. So that may be not the nearest hospital, and actually it may be a hospital quite some distance away. But with the doctors that we are now lucky to have on board, they can make the decision as to which hospital would be best for the casualty or the person who's sick. Now, first of all, I must ask, has anyone here ever been in the air ambulance? Oh no, we can thank God for that. Does anyone know anyone who's had to go in the air ambulance? No, we can thank God for that as well then, in that case. But on Saturday, I don't know about Anne, did you meet somebody?
Yeah, we met about 3 or 4 people.
And interestingly, I met 2 people. One couple came up and put money in the bucket and said, oh, we must do this. You came out last week to our grandson. His premature was born at 2 pounds and was very, very poorly, but didn't get taken to hospital because now we fly with consultant level doctors. So what we did was, in effect, take A&E to the home and had a medical intervention there which prevented a hospital admission. So we were really pleased about that, and I was delighted to hear that too. I also met somebody who is cycling, I think, 250 miles for us in the coming weeks to raise funds. And then I met somebody else whose nephew had been picked up in the air ambulance. So we're around and about and doing excellent work. Now, can anybody tell me where this is?
Where what is the map? Well, that's Wales.
Absolutely. And I was in a school this morning and I asked that question. Perhaps it was a bit silly of me because it was an infant school. And somebody did say they thought it was Iceland.
Well, I know it's Wales.
So there we go.
I've been here for 93 years, so I mean...
Excellent. Well, I can agree with you.
Unless they've altered it.
Yes, so this is the area that we cover. We're an all-Wales charity. And we got our very first air ambulance in 2001 in Swansea on a part-time basis, and it was funded by the AA for us for 6 months to start off. So we started off with a bright yellow helicopter. that went down so very well that we soon followed with a second air ambulance in Carnarvon. And now we're very fortunate to have 3 to cover the whole of Wales. So we have one in Welshpool too. And what this means is that we can cover the whole of Wales and nobody is more than 20 minutes away from the call. When we get the call, we can be with anyone in Wales within 20 minutes. And our longest journey is Swansea, across to the borders here at Chepstow.
Well, the next time they come and pick me up off the floor,
Yeah.
I'll ask for an air ambulance, not the ordinary one.
Oh, but they're so nice when they come and pick you up off the floor, aren't they? Because my elderly mum used to live with me, and we had them a couple of times when she fell over,
All right, then.
and I couldn't get her up. They're very good. Yeah. So we cover the whole of Wales, and we're very lucky to have the support of the people of Wales to keep us flying, because we need £6 million every year just to keep the 3 helicopters flying. And currently, that's only daylight hours. We're not flying at night yet. So we belong to a bigger association of air ambulances. Now, an air ambulance across here somewhere has got a very famous recruit just lately. Who might that be? Prince William, yes. Didn't come and join us, unfortunately. But he's on paternity leave at the moment and making the most of it, because I saw him on the TV this morning. He was in a polo match yesterday. So I suppose you can't be on nappy duty all day. Yeah. So we belong to a bigger association there. And this is our air ambulance. Has anybody seen it around and about?
Yes, I happen to be taking my daughter back to hospital because she's working at the university hospital at that time. And there was the helicopter on the helipad.
Yes, and the
First time I'd
helipad
ever seen it.
sits on top of A&E in the
Yes,
hospital.
yes.
Yeah, I've seen
I
it.
didn't even know it was there.
Well, you'd have known if it was landing or it was taken off, because it is quite noisy, and they do stop all the traffic.
And they stop the traffic both ends because the
Yes, yes, because we do tend to draw a crowd. Yes. And it is very noisy. In fact, I was doing a talk and I met a young lady and she said to me, "Oh, I've been blown over by the air ambulance." She didn't know, she was just walking past A&E in a little world of her own, and it took off and she thought nothing of it. And once, of course, it comes out backwards from the helipad, and the downdraft just blew her off her feet. I suppose it was lucky she was outside A&E, wasn't it?
A couple of months ago, my husband and I were in the kitchen, and this tremendous noise was above us, and we thought, gosh, we thought it was going to come crashing down on the house. It was that close. And apparently, a passenger on the 61 bus that comes down from Fairwater,
Yeah.
she'd had a heart attack on the bus. And they brought out the Wales Air Ambulance,
Yes.
and it landed in Thompson's Park.
Yes, and it's landed in Victoria Park as well. Yes.
So when I was in hospital, in the trauma ward, it landed on the roof. That's where the thingamy was.
Yes, that's right. So from some of the wards, you can see it coming in to land. Yeah. Oh, well, it keeps you amused, of course, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that you've seen it around and about, because it does come into Cardiff very frequently, because Cardiff is a centre of excellence for brain injuries. So if anybody in South Wales has a suspected brain injury, we would automatically bring them to the Heath. And for example, if somebody in Cardiff had a serious burn, we wouldn't think about taking you to the Heath. We take you straight down to Morriston Hospital, where the burns unit is there. So that's the flexibility that the air ambulance has, is to choose the most appropriate hospital for the patient.